just such a horrible platform to stream to YouTube at the minute. Okay, so attempt 2, because for some reason someone somewhere didn't like it. So we're back, and I've got to post links everywhere again. Attempt 2. Be back with you in a second. Two more places. Back in business. Right then, we're back in business, I hope, and I hope this stays relatively stable. John, thanks to... Cheers, Damo. Thanks for coming back. Yeah, I'm the other day as well, so I stream on a Thursday as well, and it did the exact same thing. To the point now where I've gone so paranoid I reset my router before I start. I go into the network environment, clear with the cache out, do all that, and it still has a fart every now and again. It's annoying. So hopefully that rectifies it. Hopefully the stream's nice and stable. I'll be honest, there's not much more I can do about it if it isn't, but hopefully it will be fine. So I think we're just about to start qualifying. So we just turn the keyboards on. Turn that on. So for those of you new to this, or otherwise haven't seen the other races that the guys have been doing, this is the Tanso Racing Group versus NxtGen Racing Challenge. So it's over 4 rounds, this is round number 3. I'll give you some results and standings during the stream as well. I'll do that sort of before the end of qualifying. It's all sponsored by Trophy Monster, with an additional sponsor of Motorsport Track Art getting behind it. The drivers are all in the same car, which is the Mini Cooper 2005 version. Although they are allowed to change it, so they're allowed to tune the vehicle, which I mentioned in the other stream. Just wait for the noisy bit to finish. There we go. Yeah, they're allowed to tune the car, so they're allowed to alter suspension dynamics, gear settings, all that sort of stuff, and that really matters. That can be worth seconds of it. If you get that right, that is worth seconds easily along a track like this. The drivers can use any sort of tyre they want throughout the race, from a hard to a super soft, and the cars are limited to 220 horsepower and have a minimum weight of 1,050 kilos. Each team can represent up to 7 drivers per round. We'll go through the drivers obviously as well. We'll just have a look at who had a blinder of a round last time out. He will be looking for another good time out. In terms of standings then, so the drivers earn individual points per race. Those points per team then go into a team result. But there is obviously the bragging rights of a Drivers' Championship as well, so I'll give you a bit of a rundown as to how they're going. The overall, NxtGen currently winning 155 points to Tanso's 114. In terms of the drivers, the current championship leader is Mr. Chris Cutler, i.e. NGR Cutler. He leads on 35 points. 32 points behind him is Ollie O'Neill, who's here. Britsberger then lands in 3rd with 30 points, so Britsberger is the first Tanso racing driver in the championship, so he's the highest of them. Then you've got Cool Rides. Cool Rides is on 30 points. Just seen him in, there he is, Cool Rides on 4th. Pav 46, Pav, who had that unfortunate incident, well, it's not an incident, it was a GT Sport glitch that affected him at Willow Springs in the opener. He should have taken the full sweep there, and I can't see Pav in. Oh, there he is. There's Pav. Drivers just starting their fast laps now. So Pav is 5th. Then you've got Sean F, the fan favourite. He's in 6th, but he's very close in the middle. So he's just sort of 4 points behind Pav, and 3 points ahead of Big Z. And you got Simon O'Neill, 17 points in 8th. Red Devil 71, 16 points in 9th. Scrabs, the drunken one, as the Tanso lot call him. 14 points for him in 10th. And the other 2 drivers to sort of note to are Duffy JHD, he's on 14 points, and Obi-Wan Kenobi, he's 10 points, and he's the last, but he's only raced the once, I think, so may the force be with you. Right, so that's the drivers and team championship underway. The first results are about to pop in. Cutlass had to serve a penalty on his first flyer, so that's not going to do. Expect this first lap time to be a good time. A 45 is your target time for a good lap around here. Cutler's going to get us underway with 48.9 for Cutler. Ollie O'Neill comes into the pits. 46.6 for Kennedy. Simon O'Neill goes a 46.9 for him. Just wait for the times are just going to pour in now over the next 10 seconds or so, so we'll just wait for that to happen. Biggsy set a stonk over time. Biggsy's on a 46.3. He's currently getting a little bit of slipstream from current 6th place Scrabs. Meanwhile, our current pole time is Mr. Pav 46 with a 46.0, and he's currently gone purple as well on his second flying lap. So plainly, he's now got some heat into those tyres. The racing super soft tyres, though, that Pav is using, if you notice on your screen, and I've put that up for a reason, they are chewed up already. They're starting to get worn already. He's only had them on 2 laps, so this is a very high deck circuit. Interlagos will chew up and spit out your tyres faster than you think. So if anyone's brave enough to use the super softs in the race, they should only last a couple of laps before they need to be bent again. But they are the quickest tyre. So if you want a hot lap round here, you really need the super softs on your car. Qualifying then to 10 minutes. And then we head on into a half-hour race. As we've seen before, the strategy is everything. So if you get a good strategy, it can really make or break your race. So we'll see who's been doing their homework in the week. In terms of time setting, I was just about to find got one tracks. Finally sets a good time of 46.5. Pav 46 we saw going purple during his lap. We're looking suffering with some tyre deck and has peeled off into the pits to change those tyres. You'll see a lot of drivers doing that now. So they'll get a banker lap in. Sean F gets in the 45.7. Let's have a look at that. He looks like he got some nice slipstream, though we did comment that at the start of his lap. Sean F, as he comes across the line, 45.7 for Sean F. And the crowd goes, and he's on the grass now, I guess he's just out of the way, but the crowd goes wild for Sean F. 3 temps clear at the top. I think Mr. Pav 46 is going to have something to say about that. He's just seen his time beaten by Sean. Sean may now go round and burn a bit of fuel off, may then come into the pits to change his tyres. He'll have to be quick about it. Do an outlap, and then he should have enough time for another flyer if he's smart about it. Biggsy, good time for Biggsy, 46.3 as we've commented before. He's currently 3rd on the grid for him. He's currently beating Cutler. He's on the soft tyre, so a tyre that I'd probably expect to see live a little bit longer. Cutler then on the racing soft. Let's just have a little bit of a check on the timing. So no one's absolutely flying on the timing boards. So I think we're at the stage now, like you see in real F1, where the drivers will come in, they will get some fresh boots on, and then they'll go out for an all-out balls to the wall lap. Welcome back, Paul. But yeah, what a lap from this man, Sean F. He's got a lot of support, and I'm sure his fans will be pleased to see him in the positions in at the minute. As we see Ollie O'Neill chuck a 47 on the board as well. Still Anthony Hunt. Welcome along, mate. Welcome along. Big fan of Sean. Everyone's a big fan of Sean, mate. Only he's not coming in to change those tyres. He's gonna go for another lap. Obviously he didn't feel he could get round in time. He might be right, but I feel he could have got round in time to change his tyres. So Sean's gonna go for another bash at this. Meanwhile, Mr. Pav 46 just starting his last flying lap now. He's on a personal best first sector, so Pav is definitely improving, and probably my hot pick for a pole position. Cutler's on his out lap and will get across the line in time to start his flyer. Bigsy, is Bigsy up or down? Let's have a look at the timing, just see who's on fire. So Ollie O'Neill scrubs on personal best times. This one though's gone purple, set to 1. The Jedi Knight with Obi-Wan Kenobi, 6th place at the minute for him, but he's setting purple sector time, so expect to see him do well. Let's have a look for Pav. Pav's just coming up to the final turn. He's 2.5 temps up on his personal best lap. Really testing out the track limits. You can go all the way out there, you can go across the white line, the track limits let you. Pav's not going to have a slipstream going up here though, and that's going to affect his overall time. I think Sean did have a slipstream at this bit, so his set to free time will be quicker. Pav 46, 45.7 for Pav 46, does beat it in the end by 300ths of a second. Has Sean F got anything to answer to that for? He's not getting a slipstream either. Looking at the time he's at, I don't think he's going to be able to answer to that. No, he's not for sure. Unfortunately, he doesn't go any quicker, but he will be happy with a front row start as it stands. Can anyone change that? Mr. Cutler is now on his flying lap, as we see some other times come in. Notable mentions, Britsburger's had a good result as well. He's got another lap in him. He's coming in 6th. Obi-Wan Kenobi set a 45.9. So he did improve his time, so he is currently third on the grid, second row. Let's see where Cutler. Let's follow Cutler's lap because he's the one that can really spoil the party now. He's coming up to the timing line in just a second. It's going okay, Hunty, mate. Yeah, it's not going too bad, other than YouTube streaming problems, but I know you're familiar with that. Right, so Cutler is up, but by less than a tenth of a second. So unless his Mini suddenly devises a SpaceX rocket sort of propulsion system out the boot of that Mini, I don't think he's going to be able to beat Pav's time. He's nearly 8 tenths back. Cutler does tend to do all this hard work in the race, so he's pretty much a pro at saving tyres. 46.1 for Cutler does stick him on the second row of the grid alongside Obi-Wan Kenobi, the highest Tanso driver, currently in 3rd, but they are representing quite well in this one. Going to be interesting to have a look at what tyres people are using, and I will have that graphic on, so I will use that, because as we've seen, tyres are a big part of this one. Britsburger 45.6 for Britsburger in the end, and that puts him on pole to right at the death. Britsburger steals pole away from Pav. That was a great lap from Britsburger. 45.6 for nearly 500ths of a second quicker than Pav's lap. What a lap. What a lap by Britsburger right at the end on low fuel, super sticky tyres. But even with all the odds in his favour, he still had to pull that lap out of the bag, and he's delivered on that one. So your current pole sitter then, Mr. Britsburger, denotes the rest of the field down 1 step. So a good qualifying performance for him. Confirmation of your final times on the 12 runners we've got there. Still a good qualifying from some of the guys though. Just confirmation of your grid again. So it's a slight uphill and a downhill turn 1 here at Interlagos. I'm not familiar with the track names and I'm not going to get them up. So a standing start then, these front wheel drive cars. It's going to be an important start this run, some of the most important starts some of them have ever done. Everyone seems to get away cleanly. Sean F does bog down a little bit. That's going to potentially make him a little bit vulnerable, and he's already starting to lose places there to Cutler, who sneaks up the inside. Britsberg is safe in first, with Pav leading away behind him. We've got 3 wide there at one stage, as Sean F immediately goes down to 6th place. Cutler up into 5th after a good start from him, and then a whole gaggle of cars piling in behind. Ollie O'Neill and Simon O'Neill, 7th and 8th for them. Simo 9th for Simo, a new driver to the championship, a late replacement, as he sends one down the inside of Simon O'Neill, makes it stick as well. It's a great move by Simo. We'll go back and have another look at that. Cool Rides, 10th for Cool Rides at the minute in time. Duffy in 11th for Scrabs in 12th. Meanwhile at the top, Britsberger is leading away to Pav by half a second. Oberon Canody 3rd, so the top 3 pretty much unchanged. Big Z 4th at the minute for Big Z, is closing in on that group and looking to make moves. Cutler up into 5th, as we've said, with Sean F behind him. Ollie O'Neill though starting to put pressure on Sean, and he's going to be in a position to go down the inside. Sean F does just have to give that one up eventually. Let's go and have a look at that move that Simo made. Let's jump on board with the new driver and see how he did that. So he's down the inside of Simon. Simon's got the slip. But yeah, lovely move from Simo there to make that happen. So that's enough to put him into 8th. P3 for Sean was banging. His hemorrhage is a little bit at the start though, but that might be because of tyres. He's on medium tyres. He's on tyres that will actually last this race. Let's have a flick through and see what tyres everyone else is on in the field. So Britsberger is on the super softs. I expect them only to last a few laps before they start to absolutely destroy themselves. Pav's on the same tyre on the super softs as well. Oberon Canody on the softs should start quite well. Any other notable mentions? A lot of drivers on softs. Sean's running the mediums, which are the hardest compound tyre I've seen so far. Simo's on the super softs. He's going to have a lot more grip, but his tyre drop off is going to be off the wall. Scrab's up to 9th on the super soft tyres. He's plainly, he's overtaking people who are on harder compounds. Simon's had a shock of a lap there. He's all the way down in 11th. Meanwhile, it's kicking off at the top. Let's just go on board with Big Z. This is Big Z's view of the top 3 battle. Pav 46 now leads this. Didn't see the overtake that Pav made for that, I'm afraid. I was too busy flicking through the field. That's the nature of the beast sometimes. Yep, Damo agreed. I think the strategy is in play. It's a half-hour race. You don't win the race on that one. You've got to think about the bigger picture sometimes, and I think that's what Sean is doing. I hope that's what Sean is doing anyway, because he has hemorrhaged a few places from the start, but all is not yet lost. So the top runners on really soft, sticky compound tyres, so I would expect them to make a blast ahead, but as you can already see on the graphic at the lower end of your screen, the wear on those tyres, which is indicated by a red sort of line. The more the red, the less grip the tyre will have. Once that tyre gets to about 25% worn, as we see Cutler and Ollie O'Neill battle it out, the grip level really does start to fall off. So you do, and we call that a drop off. I'm showing them running in 8th. He's just utilising the slipstream of the car in front at this minute in time, maybe saving a little bit of fuel while he's there. Certainly would be a wise move. Scrabs, as we said before, who was qualifying last, he's up to 9th now. So the head honcho of Tanso Racing Group in the top 10. Let's go and give a little bit more coverage to our leaders. The top 4 pack are well and truly starting to escape now. We saw someone with a penalty a little bit further back. I think that was Cutler. It is Cutler. 4 attempts for a slight track infringement. Easy to pick up around here in Interlagos. Don't think I've had a race where I didn't get one. So very easy to get. Sean's still sticking to the back of Simo now. Bearing in mind these two have very different tyre strategies. So at this stage of the race, they're probably not directly racing each other on strategy, but they are on track. So we'll see how that plays out. Most drivers, the predicted strategy is probably going to be around a 2-stop. So expect to see the about that lap, probably the end of lap 6. On a really soft compounder tyre. May use some sort of interim medium stint on a harder compound. Experiencing that tyre drop off round about now. Through some of these high load corners, as we just see Britsberger and Obi-Wan Kenobi get a little bit too close for comfort. It will start to affect your cornering performance. It will give you more wheel spin, and it will affect your braking as well. So definitely worth remembering when those things do happen. So this was Kenodi's move on Britsberger, just outbraked him coming into T4. I think Britsberger, in all fairness, just didn't expect the move. These two on the same team, so no malice in that by the looks of things at all. Simo and Sean still very close together. There are some penalties a little bit further back. Scrabbs has dropped 2 temps. Simon O'Neill's managed to get through and away. Duffy's got a little bit of a penalty. He's got rid of that quickly though. And then at this minute in time, Cool Rides is last place. So last place for Cool Rides at the minute. Meanwhile then, Pav has built up a huge lead up ahead. 3.4 seconds, thanks in part to the guys ahead battling away, as he does go on to start a 5th lap. Britsberger just peeled off into the pits. His tyres are well and truly scuffed in. So far he is the only driver to pit. There is another one pitting behind him, which is going to be Simo. So if Simo comes into the pits as well, the camera was way out of exposure there. So that does let Sean F carry on up ahead. Now Sean, on the harder compounder tyres, got enough fuel to carry on. Of course, these are also fuel limited races, so they start with 100 litres of fuel. I can't remember how many laps that's good for on full pelt, but the drivers, some of them will have been fuel saving through the race, so I expect to see varying fuel strategies as well. Pav 46 still lapping round. So the first driver to have pitted is going to be Britsberger's come out in 11th place, but importantly for Britsberger, he's in clean air now, so he's slapped some more super softs on and he's going for it. Simo's doing the same, so a bold strategy from Britsberger, to be fair. So he's going for all-out offensive lap time. Of course, when the cars have less fuel in them, like they do now, the tyre wear won't be as bad, because when you're cornering, there's not as much weight pushing on the car. So let's see if Pav does choose to pit. So our race leader does pit then. He comes in. Obi-Wan Kenodi's going to probably do the same. Yes, he is. Big Z, a massive stream of cars are going to come into the pits. Now the pit lane's suddenly getting very busy. And Mr. Cutler's going to assume the lead of the race for the time being. He's not yet pitted. I did say to you before, he's really good at extending his stints, and that's precisely what he's doing right here. He may be trying to extend this to a one-stop race. If he can get another couple of laps out of those tyres comfortably, that's very good one-stop territory for Cutler. Of course, his fuel may be a concern, but that's something that he will have planned out in his head as well. Britsberger now Comes through comes through 2 second, but I've got a theory he's going to come out in some traffic. Some of the cars that pitted now start to stream back out onto the circuit. Indeed, there is one right there. Who is that? That's Pav 46. So Pav pits and comes out behind Britsberger. So Britsberger has done the undercut, but Pav, and again, this is where the strategy all comes into it, and I'm not going to go into it too much live on air because some drivers might be listening. But let's just say they'll put in different amounts of fuel depending on what their strategy is. So they might have spent less time in the pit lane, and they might be going for a quicker medium stint or a slower medium stint just to have the speed at the end. We don't know at this stage. We will find all that out towards the end of the race. Meanwhile, though, Cutler's lapping quite comfortably, I want to say, in the 47s, 48s. If he can save himself a pit stop, he can afford to lap a little bit slower, and he'll still be quicker than everyone else just because he's conserving tyres and fuel a lot better than everyone else is. Anyone interested in how the Simo and Sean battle is raging on? They have separated a little bit now. Simo did come out quite a way ahead after the pits had finished, but I think he may have short through. So again, this is where the strategy is all going to be interesting now. So some cars may be slightly out of position, as you see Pav and Britsberger get quite close on circuit. Cutler does pit, so probably just out of one stop range. But we'll see what he goes for on his second stint. Just have a quick drink. Just coming out of that pit lane now. We'll see what happens to him when he comes out. We're following our leader, Britsberger, who's coming under ferocious attack from Pav. It's a look back from Britsberger's car. The infield isn't a great overtaking spot, but Pav's a very good overtaker, so he's going to look to go around the outside. He might see his car dip into the left of his screen. There we go. Goes for a look, Britsberger defends that one. No room at the inn for Pav at this time. As the battle for the lead rages on, let's check back. Ollie O'Neill, currently running third position, has pitted. He's got Biggsy for company behind him. Biggsy's developing a little bit of a train consistent of Obi-Wan Kenobi and Cutler. Cutler came out of the pits in 6th. We'll see what his strategy is going to be for the remainder of the race. Cutler's one that can mix it up as well. Simo 7th, but he has been losing time to Sean. Sean's been gaining on him quite a lot, actually. Sean's really reeling him in, and on a personal best final sector by 6/10. So Sean at the minute is plainly going for that fast medium stint strat, and if we want to see some overtaking, we may have to check back on him from time to time. Cool Ride's up to 10th, Scrabs 11th, JXT 12th at the minute. As the leaders go side by side, Pav and Britsberger. Britsberger looks to have had to defend coming through the centre S's there. So does Pav go for this? No, going into turn 4. No, he doesn't. I thought he was gonna launch it down the inside there on turn 5, but he chose against it. So these two at the front keeping it nice and clean for the time being, which we'd like to see, of course. Any action on track? I think we're just sort of line astern now. Sean has took another sort of 5/10 out of Simo up ahead. So Sean's really starting to lay the pressure on. Keep getting distracted. My neighbour's having a party and playing Venga Boys. That's all I can hear. The Venga bus is coming. Anyway, I'll stop messing about now. Pav looking to join the slipstream party. I just noticed Britsburger's fuel indicator's gone red. Does he pit? He does pit. Pav carries on. So a very short stint for Britsburger. Looks like he's only doing sort of 2 or 3 lap stints. Pav then carries on. Pav did 5 laps before, so if he's sticking to form, he'll pit again after the next lap. If he's sticking to form, but I have a feeling he's going a little bit longer this next time. Obi-Wan Kenobi and Cutler relatively close on track as well. So you can hear there Cutler short shifting. He will be saving fuel while in the slipstream of the car ahead. Now you can do that without losing a lot of time because the car ahead's punching a hole in the air for you anyway, so you're accelerating a little bit quicker. And you're not having to use as much pace. Through pit stops, Sean up to 6 because we've seen his Simo in the pit. Simo does just come out of the pits now, 42 seconds behind the leader. So Sean into 6th place, 2.9 seconds behind Cutler. If he can latch onto the back of that group, because of course we know Cutler's not going full beans at the minute. If he can latch onto the back of that group, he can do himself some favours. He's currently 3 seconds adrift at that, but he has got a big gap behind him with Sean, so nothing to worry about for the time being. Leader coming around to start the 10th lap. He doesn't pit this time around, he does extend his stint yet again. So you can see the guys are lapping. Probably about a second off the qualifying pace at the minute, so there is a lot of conserving going on. Britsburger is plainly in that I'm going all out, and this is war sort of attack. He's now come out in 7th. He's currently set the fastest lap of the race of 46.0, so a very fast lap for race pace. Simon O'Neill's currently putting him under pressure. Still quite close. Sean is gaining a little bit. He's gathering the guys ahead up. Britsburger and Simon O'Neill still relatively close together. And there's little gaps between the guys at the back that I didn't clock onto before. Simo's just pitted, so he'll be hoping that he can get past JXD up ahead pretty quickly. JXD's carrying a little bit of a penalty as well, so he does need to serve that at some point. Again, I don't know if there's specific rules in serving the penalties and when they have to. Not too sure. We are now approaching 2 stoppers pit stop window, so some of the guys who are, well, most people are 2 stopping, so you should see another round of pit stops occur end of this lap or end of next, as we see Cutler go around the outside of Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think he's got that move made as well. That was lovely set up. That's a great move by Cutler to get himself into 4th place. Might be tempted just to flip back and have a quick look at how that happened. So Cutler did get the overdrive, but was forced to the outside by Kenobi, who defended, but was able to carry a lot more speed around the outside of the corner, which gave him the inside for the next turn. So a lovely move for Cutler there, and good racing by everyone as well. So some pit stops starting to happen now. Cutler and Kenobi carrying on, so is Sean F. So Sean's currently in 3rd in the net position, but he's going to have to probably pit soon. Britsburger 6.5 seconds behind Sean. He has been gaining quite quick, but don't forget he's on very fresh super soft tyres, whereas Sean's on very worn ones. So I would expect him to be quick at this minute in time. Cool rides. He's coming towards his pit window as well. He's on the mediums, so he's just been lapping really consistently. To be fair to Cool Rides, he's just been having a nice consistent race. Thanks for the logo on the side of your car as well, mate. Really do appreciate that. Simo's livery is very holographic. So the question's going to be for me when cut the pit. I did have a thought at one stage that he was going to try and go for the one stop. Would have been very audacious, but it could have worked. Sean on super softs for the end. Yeah, if he can make them last 10 minutes. What's he on at? Where is he at the minute? There he is. So he's on super softs at the minute. He's been on these. When did he pit? Lap 5. So he's coming up to the end of his 6. Yeah, he can do 10 minutes on those. But if he pits now and sticks on some more supers, he'll be okay. But as you can see on his lap time, mate, his 10th lap was a 49.2, whereas his best lap on supers is a 47.4. So the drop off in them is pretty severe. So it might be better off going on to a soft, which just holds on to its structure a little bit better. But we'll see what Sean opts to do. So Pav now out of the pits, he's gone on to super softs and fuel to the end of the race. He's chasing down Britsberger, who looks like he may have to pit again. Haven't really been keeping too much of an eye on that. It does look like everyone ahead of Pav looks to need to pit again, in fairness. So if Pav can just hold on to his nerve, he should be okay. So let's have a look at Sean. What's he done? Oh yeah, he's listening. Look at it, he's listening to it. So Sean's gone onto the soft compound tyre, fuel to the end. So that soft compound tyre won't have as severe a drop off as the super soft. It'll be a tiny bit slower, quite negligible. Feels the same in terms of grip, so you have the same confidence in the structure of the tyres to hold up. So 8th at the minute for Sean. Let's see what he can accomplish. He's chasing down Simo. There's a lot of cars ahead of Sean that do need to pit again. Biggsy's not one of them though. Biggsy's 6th place for him at the minute. He'll be seeing what he can do. Ollie O'Neill up ahead doesn't have to pit as well. We see as the current leaders in. So Obi-Wan Kenobi does pit now. He's joined in the pits by Britsberger, who we have seen is exceptionally quick on fresh rubbers. He's consistently in the 46s. But he's had to do one more stop than everyone else. Fly out to the end, yep, 100%. Balls to the wall. But most of these guys are going to be that now. Just making sure you've got enough fuel in your car as well, because it's a lot like Interlagos. It's quite hard to figure out exactly how many laps you're going to have left. Some of the drivers will have tested that theory out and seen just how quick, but in a race you can easily lose 5 or 6 seconds. That puts you behind the line, and then you've got to do another lap. It's quite difficult to gauge sometimes. Sean, to that effect, looks to have gone quite conservative. 5th in the race now. He's getting pressured by Obi-Wan Kenobi, who has just pitted. Sean just goes wide at turn 4. Obi-Wan Kenobi officially gets a move done just on the exit. I don't think Sean fought that too much, in fairness. Sean does have a very fast Britsberger approaching him, but there's no reason why now we can't hold him off. So Sean can hang on to the coattails of Obi-Wan Kenobi up ahead and basically use the green machine for some slipstream, then it'll help him defend the car behind. Of course, one thing these cars don't have to worry about is overheating, because they're in a sim, so it doesn't matter. They don't replicate that very well. Cutler pits, our current leader. He pitted when he was 7 and a bit seconds ahead. Pav 46 then assumes the lead of the race. He's now just smashed in the fastest lap of the race as well, a 45.5. So an astonishing lap from Pav 46, and he is utterly dominant this time round. He didn't quite get that pole lap though. That pole lap was snatched off him, but but still a good performance by Pav so far. Second on the road at the minute, Ollie O'Neill. Good performance by Ollie O'Neill, strategically played it quite nicely. It looks like Cutler's might just get out in front of him. Nope. Cutler just come out in second, so Cutler's played a blinder here. So Cutler's had to spend less time in the pits because he's done so well at fuel saving. He's not had to spend as long with the fuel man attached to his car, and as so, he's put himself in second on the road. And this is a legit position now for Cutler. This little fight for fifth could be interesting towards the end, so that comprises of Obi-Wan Kenobi, Sean F and Britsberger. All these three drivers are pitted, all of them look like they're now going to the end. And now it's just going to be a case of racecraft. They've got a similar sort of tyre and fuel and stuff like that, so it's just going to be a case of who's the best driver, really. Simon O'Neill trying to get onto the back of that, but he's 12 seconds adrift, so kind of on his own now, Simon. He's not really got anyone to fight. Cool Rides, 9th for Cool Rides at the minute with 4 minutes to go. He's been chased down by Simo. Simo in turn is being chased down by Scrubs, who's got a nice penalty. And then we've got JSD, 12th at the minute, right at the back. But your race leader on Monsieur, Pav 46, just put in a 46.6 on his 14th lap. 3.5 minutes remain, so probably another 2 and a bit laps. Mr. Cutler's second strategic masterclass so far from him has really played his race card quite well, and he's up to second place on the road. Ollie O'Neill, third place for Ollie. It's weird, we haven't really seen too much of Ollie this race, but he finds himself in a podium position. It's strange how that works out sometimes. Game, set and match for Pav. Yeah, he's great at this sort of stuff, mate. If he gets out in front, he's a very hard guy to catch, because he's very good at just putting his eyes forward and focusing. I've been in a lot of races with him, I know that's what he's like. He's a frustrating dude. Meanwhile, it's all kicking off in the race for 4th. Biggsy's been getting caught. Sean F's going for a move on Obi-Wan Kenobi. Sean F's got that move made. Sean now looking for a move on Bigsy for 4th, so in one corner Sean F has put himself from 6th to 4th. And don't worry, I've replay marked it. We're gonna go and have a look at it. But he's got himself too deep on the AstroTurf, does manage to rescue it. Bigsy, I feel, won't give him too much grief. Bigsy will want to help the team out as well. As you can see, Bigsy there defending to Britsberger. Is unable to get that defence done though, as they now go sort of too wide. Britsberger got a really good run. I've got to admire that Britsberger move. Pav's going to come in for fresh rubber. He's that confident. We'll go back and have a look at that. Sean, unfortunately, now back down to 6, but it's a 3-car drive up the final straight. Unfortunately, the Tanso guys are playing the team game and just helping each other out with a bit of a slipstream. I'm just going to stick with this for the time being, though. I think one of those cars has peeled off into the pits. Yeah, Biggsy's peeled off into the pits. So Sean is a lone Spitfire in the midst of some Messerschmitts. And yeah, he's just sort of sent to the outside on an attacking move. Unfortunately, that's just demoted Sean down to 5th. Pav 46 is not a Pav. Why has he put a full tank of fuel in with a minute to go? Right, I'm not sure what's happened there. Pav's, yeah. If anyone can explain why Pav's had to go, why Pav's got into the pits on probably the last lap of the race, I don't know. Right, let's just go back and have a quick look at this move from Sean and just see how he did it. So Kenobi went wide, so up the inside of Kenobi. He then got a good run out of the corner. Just up the inside of Bigsy. So it was a lovely move by Sean to get that 4th place. Did you jinx it? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I'm scratching my head about that. That's confusing me, because he had it game, set and match. I mean, Unless you ran out of fuel, I don't know, but why would you need to put 3/4 of a tank in? It's baffled me, it really has. So we've got 15 seconds left of this one. It's it means that some of these drivers are going to make it over for another lap. Cutler is going to have to do another lap, so is Ollie O'Neill. Pav 46 though. Yep, he's also going to make it over. Britt Spigger's going to be the first driver to finish. He's going to finish in 4th place. Obi-Wan Kenobi's going to finish in 5th. Sean F is going to solidify 6th. He will probably feel a little bit disappointed in that one, in fairness. Bigsy going to come home in 7th. He had to make a late pit stop, a splash and dash, but it did cost him in the end, so 7th for him. Simon O'Neill 8th for Simon. Cool Ride's going to finish in 9th. Simo's going to bring it home in 10th. Scrab's going to bring it home in 11th place on a thimble full of fuel. And JHD is going to come home in 12th place. Meanwhile, Pav 46 is chasing down 2nd, so Ollie O'Neill's got a little bit of a penalty to lose here. I don't know what happened with Pav. I don't know. I really don't know. I wish I had an explanation for why Pav pitted. I'm not sure. I genuinely don't know. Genuinely no idea. But meanwhile, a little bit of on-track action. Ollie O'Neill's desperately trying to get rid of this penalty without letting Pav past. Pav's going to try and drive it around the outside. He's going to make that move stick. Great drive from Pav on the penultimate corner, really. All these drivers guaranteed a podium position. It was just a case of who finished where. Cutler's going to do enough to finish in 1st place. I wonder if, looking at Cutler's fuel, I wonder if Pav just thought he was marginal on fuel and wanted to be safe. Might be sensible, I don't know. But that's Cutler's going to win it. Pav's going to bring it home in 2nd with Ollie O'Neill, your final podium driver. It's confirmation of your results. Good haul of points. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is a good haul of points. Certainly not to be sniffed at. But when you lead in a race, yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure. Especially to put that much fuel in. I mean, if you looked at how close they were at the end, he only needed a lap's worth of fuel, really. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? So we'll congratulate the podium drivers. So it was Cutler, Ollie O'Neill and Pavia. Yeah, so that's it. So that's race 3 over and done with. Let me load up the info stream and get you some info for next week. So next week's finale is going to be from the Red Bull Ring. The weather forecast is that it's sunny. So expect sunny weather at the Red Bull Ring for the final. That's going to be on the 7th of June. Oh, we're there already. Yikes. This has been cracking on, hasn't it? So yeah, 7th of June, Red Bull Ring, 9 o'clock start. Be there or be square. And yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys, for this one. That may do enough for NxtGen Racing to have taken the victory early, but we'll see. We'll obviously, when I stream it next week, we'll talk about that, and I'll let you know where we are. So thanks for tuning in, of course. I do appreciate you stopping by on your Sunday evening to check out the stream, and we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for your support, and we'll see you later. Bye bye.